Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun puzzle in front of us. Now, this is from a setter we just found, I think last week. I think we did their first puzzle, but now I've just seen another one that looks very intriguing. So it's by Illandres. It's called Anchors Aweigh. Let's jump into this puzzle, see what's going on with it, because there's some fun little theming going on here. Now, I think it was mentioned that originally this was supposed to be like inspired by the Goonies movie from the mid-'80s, but then kind of just turned into something just simply pirate-based here. But either way, it's looking fun, so we're going to get into it. So let's just start reading these rules and get going, because there's quite a few rules in this thing. And there's a lot of things that are being labeled thematically that are normal type rules, but we have to figure them out. So anyway, you must chart a course for your pirate ship, starting from the flag and ending at the palm tree. Those are these two. This path will form a one-cell wide parity line that moves orthogonally through the grid and does not touch itself even diagonally. Okay, so there's going to be some kind of path that just goes between them where it can't turn around like this. It can't do something like that or what have you, because they're touching down. Normal path type rule there. Now, your ship's course should not enter any cell touched by debris or cannonballs, which are the white and black kropkis. Okay, so none of these can be part of the ship's course. You must also avoid collisions with any rocks, which are the circles, and lighthouses, which are squares. Okay, so none of these can be on your ship's course by these rule sets. So we'll have to find a way around all of this. Cool. Well, now let's jump into the actual rules and figure out what all of these things are. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Normal Sudoku. Now, parity line. Along a parity line, was that the path? One cell? Yeah, parity. I think I kind of glazed over that. So our ship's path is going to be the parity line. So if it were to, I know this isn't right, but let's if it did something like this, and this was an odd, it would be even, odd, even, odd, even, odd. It would just flip back and forth between odds and evens. Then we have the rocks, which are the circles. Now, rocks indicate how many of these cells adjacent to the rock are on your ship's course. Okay, so I guess that, well, normally it would just be any adjacency. It doesn't specify that it's orthogonal or not. So I guess we'll kind of think that it means anything that's adjacent to it, but we'll try not to just use that as a given because it's not specified. I was trying to say specifically and specified at the same time. Didn't work very well. So this guy could be a 1, 2, or 3 technically then, because the path could do something like that. Okay, then what about the lighthouses? Representing the grid by these squares, these guys. Lighthouses indicate how many cells within a chess knight's move are on your ship's course. Okay, cells on your course that are seen by a knight's move by lighthouse share the same parity as the lighthouse. Okay, so this guy here, he's going to see all of these by knight's moves. So if it did see all of them, or if the course was touching all of these, this would be an 8. And then all of these digits would be of that same parity, i.e. even. Now, if this was a 7, let's say it did something like that, then this would be a 7, and these would all be odd. That's what that's telling us. Now, rocks and lighthouses come in pairs. Okay, so every lighthouse has a rock filled by a matching digit and vice versa. Okay, so whatever this value is, one of these is going to have the same value, which whatever this value is, the same thing, one of them will, and the same with this one. So there will be matching pairs, whatever they end up being. Cool. Then we have debris, which were the white kropkis. Okay, so digits and cells with debris between them are consecutive. So normal white kropki, these two will be consecutive. And then not all possible debris locations are given, so there's no negative constraint. Then the cannonballs, are going to be the black kropki dots. So these two here, for instance, anything with cannonballs between them, one is double the other. And again, not all possible cannonball locations are given. So these will be in a 2-to-1 ratio, or one will be double the other. Then we have sharks. Oh, I guess these are sharks' fins. Representing the grid by the greater than symbol. Sharks will chase your ship's course. Say that fast. Exactly one cell touched by each shark is on your ship's course. And the greedy shark's mouth will open toward the larger digit. Now, I don't quite know if that means that one of these two is on the course or something that's touching it is on the course. We might have to figure that out as we go. Exactly one cell touched by each shark. I guess it means these two. One of these two. But again, we'll keep that up in the noggin there to see if we can differentiate how these things actually work. But anyway, this would be greater than this one in terms of the digit. And then I think one of these two will have to be on the ship's course. One of these two, one of these two, one of these two. But again, we'll figure that out as we get into it. So those are all the rules. Take a deep breath. It's been almost 6 minutes now trying to go through all that. So let's stop talking. Let's get into the solve. Link's going to be in the description below. Let's get at it. Let's have some fun. All right. So first thing we're going to say, we said no debris, cannonball, lighthouse, or rock could be on our ship's path. So we're going to make it blue for the ocean. Let's do that. And then our path has to go from the flag to the palm tree. We'll make it green. Let's say our ship is sailing on land or something. Whatever works for you. But we do know we have to get ourselves out of here. So this guy's going to have to do this. And then these two, of course, can't be part of the path because the path has to start or end here. It can't be a midpoint. Okay. Now, we said, yeah, there's a couple things we can do. Let's think about the sharks for a second. We know there has to be some cell for each of these sharks that has a ship's course, which means the course has to come down here somehow. Which means, does it mean? Yeah, it means that this guy here is going to somehow, either it comes around the corner or just goes straight down, has to come through here, then it has to come back and connect here. So we're going to have something in this type of range. Well, I guess this guy actually doesn't have to. Yeah, it could be something like that, I guess. But the point is, we have to get through this. Now, I think, yeah, we can now define that rule because there's no way to get through here without touching one of these two cells. In fact, this cell, period. So it's going to be, it's not adjacency to the shark cells, it's one of the shark cells. Okay, so this one then has to, because it only be one cell touched by shark, so it can't be you. We have to get through here somehow, so this has to be part of our path, and you can't, which means you have to go up through here, and you have to come up here. It could go either way. Well, I guess this guy just has to come through here, doesn't he? Because what if we came down here? We could never get over to here. We have to take one of these two. We can't take you because we'd be in a corner. We'd have to take both of them. So this is the path, which means you have to be path, and you can't be because we can't touch diagonally. That means you have to continue our path, and I think that's about as far as we can go at this moment. Because I previously said we could do something like this, or we could do something that comes around like this, and that still works because we're not touching anything. But okay, let's think. What was the rocks and the lighthouses? So rocks represent the circle. Rocks, how many cells are adjacent to on the ship's course? Okay, so this is, well, this has to be one, well, 2 or 3. Again, I don't necessarily want to say it's a given that all these 3 are touching it because it doesn't very specifically state that's the case. How? Well, there's an easy way to resolve that. Our path is a parity line. Well, we have 8 digits in this column that are on the path. Well, that's going to be 4 evens, 4 odds. The odd man out. Ha ha ha, it has to be an odd. So this has to be a 3. Because no matter how you put the evens, you're going to have 4 of them. No matter how you put the odds, you're going to have 4 of them. So this has to be the 5th odd. So this is seeing all 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can we use that same logic here? Because this could technically be 3, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Yeah, that seems right. This guy could be almost anything, really, at this point. Oh, let's do the same thing we did with the sharks over here. We can't ever come down into this little cutout here, because then we'd have to touch something else. So this guy comes out over to here. Still doesn't quite tell us how the path works, though. Do we have to get some numbers in here? Like, these are going to be for 1, 2, 4, and 8, because you can't put 3s and 6s in a row like this. This is not going to be 1 or 8. And what was the other thing about lighthouses and rocks? Right, they match digits. Okay, so that means the rock of 3 must have a pair in a lighthouse, and it can't be you. So one of these is going to be a 3. And actually, this guy can't be a 3 then. So we can rule out the orthogonality of connection. Because if this is a 3, well, you have 2 3 rocks. These would both have to be 3s. That's not a 3. So this is 6 or 7. So it still could be that or this, depending on what this number is. But these are 3, 6, and 7. And then this guy has to pair with you, 2 or 4. Okay. This guy actually can't be a 1, because both of these would be 1s. 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 8, 4. This can't be a 4 either. Okay. Now, what was the lighthouse thing? That was Knight's moves, I think? Yeah, so Knight's moves on the course that are seen by the lighthouse. Okay, let's start thinking about that then. What are... Okay, we've already got 4 that this guy can see by Knight's move. So this is 4, which means you're not, and you're not a 1. That means... Well, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that it's done. Oh, it does mean something. This one can't be, well, never could be anyway, but you wouldn't be a path because we've already seen all 4 of our positions from here. What about these 2 guys? Boom, 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 boom. Not you. So currently this guy sees 3. It could see 7 or 6. What about you? You, boom, 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 and boom. None of you can be in. That's 3 right now. The most it could ever get to is 5. So this has to be the 3. Because it can't get up to 6 or 7 because we've removed some options already. So you are 3. And we just said that you're seeing all of your remainders, so you can't see any more, which means you and you can't be, which now does tell us this thing has to do this. So that's something. Does that come back and tell us what this is? Because again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 current. No, it doesn't, because this could be the 7th. So we don't necessarily know what those are. All right, do we have to get into you? I don't think we can say anything about this guy at the moment. Oh, we do. Yeah, it's a 4. This is matching. It has to be a 4. Okay. But still, I don't think it tells anything because it looks like we could... Wait, can we ever have this guy connect here? No, there's no way. This guy can never connect into here because how would it get out? And if it connected like this and it can't go this way, it'd have to go this way, but then you just created a loop. Or not necessarily a loop, but you can't get over to here. So I think this guy has to be part of this portion. That accurate? Yeah, there's no way that could directly connect. This has to connect into here somehow. These guys have to connect, then it has to find its way over. Okay, so this can't be path. This one is. Yeah, because if we did this, we'd have to find our way down into here, but then we can't turn back up to get over to here. Okay, so this is good. Now this 4, well, this can't be path, or ship's course, I should be more specific. 2, 3, 4, 5. This has 6 possibilities. Oh wait, we can just get out of here, because this is now blocked in. And this is 4, so these can't be in, because this guy already sees his limit. So you have to be in. This guy has to connect down here, this guy has to connect down here, so it can't go here. This just has to turn and connect. This just has to turn and connect. Okay. Say we haven't, or did we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have. Okay, this is 7. Now we've added this path, so this one is 7, which means this one is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has to have one more. So our path, our ship's course is done. Good. Now let's see what the heck we can do with the rest of this info. You can't be from the 3, 6. You're 1, 2, 4, 8. You're not 4. You're not 1, because you can't make both of those 2s. This can't ever be an 8. This can't ever be a 2. This can't be an 8 because of that 7. Because if this is an 8, this is a 7, 9 pair. This is a 2. These are a 1, 3. Don't think we can say which one is which. Because this could still be a 2, 4 with the 1 and the 3. This could be a 2, 1 with a 3, 1. That looks like it'll all work. What about you guys? Let's start here for the moment. 1, 3, 7, 9. That's almost worthless. 4, 2. If this was a 2, yeah, if this goes down to a 2, it has to go back up to 3 and 4. The same is going to be true for the 8. If it goes from 4 up to 8, it has to come back down because it can't go to a 9 and then back to an 8. So 7, 6. Still not massively helpful. Oh wait, wasn't there? Yeah, okay. The knight's move of the lighthouses share parity with the course. So, you, and all of the every other digit are going to be odd. Let's put all that in. Now, do I want to put all, I guess I will, 1, 3, 5, 7s, and 9, because we can do a lot of reductions here. None of those can be 3s. This might not be the best way to go about this. You guys can't be 7s. You can't be a 7. You can't be a 7. You guys can't be 1s or 3s. Actually, it does help because you get a 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and the 4 here. So this is a 6, 8 pair. Helpful? I don't know. Okay, what else do we have? Maybe that's going to help us. This guy can't be 3, 6 and can't have a 4. It's a 1, 2 pair. Yeah, it can't be 2, 4 or 4, 8 or 3, 6. Okay, you're not 1s. You're not 1s. Do we start putting in the even digits? I don't know how this is helping. 1, 3, 5, 7. No, we can't quite rule those. Don't think we can rule any of that stuff in or out at the moment. I was hoping the odds would get us going in the right direction, and that we wouldn't necessarily have to put the evens in until we work something out there, but I don't see anything necessarily, unless there's just some Sudoku that's staring me in the face. I don't think so. You can't be a 1 because of the greater than. You can't be a 1. This has to be from 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's be selective in where we put our evens for now, at least. If that was a 2, this could still be a 1, so that's not super helpful. You don't really know what you are. Okay, what do we need to be looking at here? Maybe you got to go whole hog into this guy. It seems like there's a ton of options that could go on here. Well, this has to be a 268. One of those will be the 4. We have all of our evens. Maybe that's something we need to start doing in regions instead. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You can't be 9. That's not really helping the situation, I don't think. 3, 5, 7. Well, we already know these are even. Okay, we're just going to bite the bullet, put our evens in here. It might not be the best way to go about this, but we're going to have plenty of things we can start to remove, I think. So none of these are going to be 4s. So you're not a 2. You're not a 2. 2s. No, this is not helping the situation. One of those is the 6, so you're not. 1, 3, 5, 7. No, we need another odd in there somewhere. We don't know which one it is. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with this darn thing. These can't be 2s, by the way, and no, you can't eat. Okay, this is odd. At least that's something, because we have all of our evens. One of those 2 will be the 2. So this has to be from 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It can't be 1 or 3. So it's 5, 7. There's a starting point at least. Let's start thinking about this. 9, 8, 7. 7, 8, 9, or 7, 6, 5. And you're seeing the way the odds and evens are working here, but 5, 6, 7, or 5, 4, 3. Those are all of, okay, where does a 1 go? That's the easy thing. Actually, 1 and 2. This has to be the 1. This has to be the 2. No other place on these will work. Okay, now let's get into this mother. These guys are not 1s. The 4, what does that do for us? Those guys are not 4s. What about the 8s? Just keep ticking away at this guy. That 8 says this can't be a 3. The 2 says we can do the 3, 4. Good, that means you're not 3, you're not 4. So that 4 says you're not 4, which means you are. You're not. So we got a 5, 7, 9, and a 6, 8. I don't think we can again say how this works, because it could be 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, 5, any type of which way we want to go. We have a 6, 8 here, though. So you're not 6. You're not 6 or 8. So that's a 2, 4 pair, which gives us a 6. You're not 6. That's a 2, 4 pair. This is going to be an odd digit. Is there anything else in here we can use that's going to help us quicker than this? Because I feel like I'm just picking at it. The 4 means this is a 1, which means this is a 3. This is a 1. 3. That does what? None of you are 1s. You guys aren't 3s. Wait. This has to be even. Okay. We've got a 1, 3, so 5, 7, and this has to be an even digit. 4, 6, or 8. It could be any of them, because this still works. Okay, what did that do for us? You're not 1. Well, neither of you are. You're not 1. One of these 2 will be 3, 5. So this is a 1, 6 pair. 3, 5, 9, 2, 4, 8, and 7. You can't be a 6, and you can't be a 6 either, because we can't have that behind. This is the 1 and the 6. You're not a 6. Okay. Keep picking away. One of you two is the 3, but that's not helping. 2, 4, 6. This can't be a 2. Just leaves us with a 6, 8, and a 6, 8, so this is a 2, actually. You guys are not. Should have known that anyway. Do we have any more pairs? 3s can't go here. Which means this can't be a 5 because of the greater than. This stuff isn't really giving us a ton, is it? We have the 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, and 8s. One of those two is the 1. Well, this one's not the 1. Okay, that's going to tell us this one is. It's probably just Sudoku we need to be diving down here. 5, 7, what is this? This is an 8. All right, let's do some Sudoku. I think we're at that point, because I think we've used every clue that we can really use at the moment. One of those two is a 1, that's not helpful. One of those, no. We know one of those. 2, that's not doing anything for us. None of this really seems like it is at the moment. 3, okay, we can get 3s to start. 2, 4, this is 5, 7, or 9. Can't be 7, obviously. So one of these two is a 7, so you're not. Let's keep going down the line, see if we can find something. One of those 3. No. Okay. Oh, the 4 staring right at this. This is what's going to give it to us. 2, 8, 1, and 2, and 6, and 8, and 8, and 6. That's going to help because these can't be 5s anymore. So this is. You're not. You guys are not 5s. You are a 9, which means you are the 1, 7, which means you are not 1s or 7s. 2, 4, so this is not 1. Okay, it's less helpful than I hoped. 2, 4, 6 is an. These are not 8s. Where does the 4 go up here? It's right there. That's going to give us this 2. Get rid of these. Didn't really do much for us. One of those will be a 4, so you guys aren't. All right, let's keep going with this. This has to be a 6, which means 8, 6. That 8 would have already told us something. These guys are not 6s. That's a 4, 8 pair. Still could be either. It seems. This 7 says you are the 9, you are the 7, 9. Okay, you're not 9s, so this is. Okay, now we can finally do something. This can't be an 8, it's the 4. You're not a 4, you are? Why was this guy ruled out as being a 4? I don't know. I'm putting it back in, though. I don't think there's anything that says that. Yeah, I don't know why that was not shown that way. Let's see what else. These are what? 1, 5, and 9? No, 1, 5. Which means this is 9. What about you two? We need a 3 and a 5. This is a 5, 7, 9 trip, so this is the 3, which means you are the 4. We'll come back down here in a second. These are 5, 9, 3. You are not 9. Well, this is a 7, you are 5, which means 1, 5, 7, 1, 2, 4. I still see you down there. I'm coming, don't worry. Okay, now we can get into here. This 4 says this is a 2, which means you are not. And the 5 here says 7, which says 9, 5, 7. You are just the 9. Which means 5. That's a 6, 8, so you're a 4. That 9 says 7 and 5. This one we said was not 4. There's a 6-8 pair going on down there. Okay, we're getting there. We're picking away at this thing. What do we have left over? You can't be 5 or 9, so this is a 3-7 pair. What are you two? 1 and something. 1 and 5? Looks like this would be the 5 then. This would be the 1. 7, 5, 3, 7. 3 says 9 and 3. 8 says 6, 8, 6, 8. You have to be a 2. You have to be a 6. There we go. We solved the puzzle. Solution is correct. Woo. 30 minutes. There was a lot of stuff that had to be done there. It's only got 44 solves in a couple of weeks. That's not a lot. Not at all. So hopefully it'll get more solves. I think sometimes the type of the puzzle, the way it looks, sometimes will throw people off and not want to get into it. But fun puzzle. Really enjoyed the one. I always do enjoy a path puzzle, and there's a lot of stuff here to work with to try to figure out what was going on. So everything seemed to work quite well together. Using the Knight's move was, I think, the big key to get some of this stuff started, because it got you into the parity section of it, which then you could start to pull everything through. So fun puzzle. Really enjoyed it. Gonna move on now because it's 30 minutes isn't long, but the 5-minute intro to get rules together took a little while. But anyway, again, hope you all enjoyed that puzzle. I certainly did, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.